Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to my reaction series to Beautiful Bones Sakuraku's Investigation. I'm not even gonna try to say the Japanese name. Actually, I literally am going to try because I just said I wouldn't. What's it actually called? Sakuraku-san no Ashimoto ni wa shitai da umateru. Hopefully, I mean, I definitely didn't say that right. That's right. We'll just call it beautiful bones. I feel like that's easier to easier to say. But welcome. This is the my first episode to the series. That's why this introduction is gonna be slightly longer. It usually is for like first episodes of series. Welcome to my channel, Daruma Dreamers. It's an anime reaction channel. My name is Aiden. Um, I've watched a lot of anime. I forgot like the amount, but it's like high 200s or like low 300s. I was like a giga weeb back in high school, like from like 2012 to like 2016. That was like my prime anime era. And then I pretty much just stopped watching anime after 2016, and I just didn't watch like anime at all for like 5 6 years, and I kind of got back into it 2021, 2022, when Higurashi Go came out, since I'm a huge Higurashi fan, and now I'm back at it this time, reacting for YouTube. It's been fun. I did do a full Shaman King reaction, but it we don't talk about that channel. It may or may not have gotten nuked off of YouTube, but for this channel, we're starting something fresh. Um, Try to make it as clean as possible because I want no beef with any any copywriters, copyright strikers. Um, so um, so for the channel, I wanted to do two series like co-running. Like I wanted like something like fresh and new for like a 3 day slot for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays for like a 2 day slot. I just wanted, it would be like a dealer's choice. Like I just chose something that sounded interesting to me, which is what Beautiful Bones did. So uh, we're reacting to Shaman King alongside this one. So if you're interested, or not Shaman King, Shaman King Flowers, the sequel series to Shaman King, uh, that's in the primary Monday, Wednesday, Friday slot, and this is in the secondary Tuesday, Thursday slot, just because, it's from 2015. Um, it's kind of old, but it sounds really interesting. It's a 12 episode series. Let me hit you with the synopsis. When Shotaro Tatewaki first met Sakurako Kujo, he knows his life will never be the same. Initially believing her to be responsible for a disappearance in the neighborhood, he later learns that her true talent, analyzing bone specimens. Sakurako has quite the collection of reconstructed animal bones, and she wishes she had more of the human variety, much to the chagrin of those around her. Soon, Shotaro begins accompanying the eccentric osteologist on the many different unsolved cases she comes across, usually in the forms of decomposing bodies. But with so many incidents happening around them, could there be a larger mystery at work in their lives? I mean, that synopsis sold me instantly. I love mystery stories. Bones is interesting. I actually did take a anthropology course, like a first year course in university, where it was half like the study of bones, and we did a bunch of like stuff in the labs, and the second half was the study of language, which was, the history of language and how it was formed. I don't remember like anything I learned from that, but I remember it was cool. And this sounds like a super dope thing. I am a huge mystery enjoyer. Um, yeah, but um, so basically, the format of these reactions, it's kind of like a mix between full timer and highlight reels. Highlight reels being like the dominant format on YouTube, where it's just pretty much split the episode in half and show like 10 minutes of footage, usually like uncovered with sound and stuff. While full timer, you don't really show much and you just have the timer. I'm in the middle. I usually show like around 15 minutes of content, and I just have like a a filter over it here, and have the subs fully uncovered. No sound because that's how Shaman King got nuked. Um, and yeah, we don't go with that. I feel like it's best of both worlds, and also it's really because I'm just really lazy. I feel like highlight reactions would be like hard to do. Plus, I feel like you just cut out too much of the reaction. I just cut out parts when I'm not talking usually. And after the episode, we'll have a post-episode discussion about my feelings on the episode, etc., etc. That's the normal format of it. So yeah, let's just get into this. Sounds interesting. I'll give it a shot. I've never heard of it before. Um, should be fun, hopefully. But yeah, Beautiful Bones, episode 1. Let's go. It's a Wat City. Oh, okay. Not literally. Kind of like a conservative more town. It's usually what small towns are, though. Like a femur. Guess we're getting a lot of bone metaphors. Look at the pageantry. Hitting me with a POV shot right as we start. It knows how to get on my good side. My, it's gonna take me forever to learn names. I'm horrible at names. Uh, okay, it's not a human at least. Dead cat? I'm calling cat. Oh, what is that? Yeah, it's a cat. Ah, he's collecting the way. I shouldn't call it waste, but you know. I think this. I actually don't know what disposal of animal corpses is supposed to be like. Are you supposed to leave that for professionals or no? Bone pilled. He's been bone pilled. I probably wouldn't. I don't like dead stuff. Well, like I wouldn't touch a corpse. Not into gross stuff. Good for him though. Eh. Life science instructor. Oh, it's everyone's so awkward. That's what I mean. It's just what high school is, full of awkwardness. Tatawaki. A little morbid. Opening? Or they might just not show it for the first episode. It's usually a thing they do. What is that? An otter? I think that was a sea lion. I always get them confused. I mean, that sounds like a chill place. I don't know. I'm a chill guy. I like quieter places. Cujo. Look at this mansion, dude. They're melting the POV shots. Interesting color palette too. It is extremely bright. It might not look like it for your stream, but it is super bright. Jesus. Real bone bodies are buried under her cherry tree. That's cool. To tie it into the short story thing. He does look good though. I don't know if I would interact with a I mean, maybe I would. I'm kind of. Well, I was about to say I'm a creepy guy, but that just sounds weird. I like horror stuff, so also very interesting title choice. The delay, the font. Prominent. Yeah, well, you can tell her house is huge with a big rose garden. It looks beautiful. Impeccable looks. I agree. Okay. What, he hates that song that much? It's just some J-Rock, bro. It's kind of hard. Look at that. Osteologist. Ah, okay. So that's what it is. Right. It's morbid, but there's nothing wrong with it. If that's what you like. Lord Diavos. What a name. Yeah, you should explain this. It's kind of weird. I'd hope so. Hope they're not. Ah, okay. That's probably how they get into like crime mysteries or whatever, because of the police fiance. Gotta get some shrimp. Definitely a shrimp enjoyer. At least it's an interesting job though. It beats like a normal manual labor job. But for a high school student, it might not be that fun. But I'd try it, honestly, at this point in my life. It's interesting enough. Well, you literally are a child. But yeah, I'd probably be annoyed too if someone kept calling me boy that I'm working with. It's kind of demeaning. Reconstructing a whale sounds insane. Where do you even put it? Food is the best motivator. Everyone knows that. Wonder how much skeletons you can just find digging on a beach, though. Okay. I mean, it doesn't make sense. If they like drown, it just washes up. I'd imagine it'd be more like fish or crustacean corpses. Hold on, the soundtrack's kind of funky with it. Bam, bam, bam. What is that? That just looks like a rock. Skull? Oh, it's not human skull. Humans. Well, that's just creepy. Probably shouldn't touch that. Probably should not touch that. I guess her boyfriend's a police detective, so she does have that liberty. Oh, that's a murder. I think that's. Is there a exit wound? Butterfly bone. Gonna learn a lot about bones today. Jesus. No exit wound, so it's probably a blunt force hit. Ah, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Ah, so like here, like next to the eyes, maybe. This is just a weird position, huh? Yeah. Are you not gonna report it? It's a murdered body, clearly. Yeah, it was buried here, I think. Yeah, clearly a murder. Blunt force? Okay, that's what I was thinking. Is not even more reason to like give it to her fiance? I know they taught us that in anthropology, but it's been so long. Had to notice the difference between a male and female stall. So she was Asian. He's calling the police. Based? Kind of based? I respect that. Hey, there's a guy just. Wait, no, that's a sign. I thought there was a guy in the background just watching them. That would be creepy. Looks like in some ways he's the more mature one in this relationship. Yeah. She's making a run for it. Jesus. Well, yeah, it's a wild relationship. You never know that. Oh, it's an old bottle or old body. What that? She's beefing. Ah, so it's a super cold case. But you can still find it. You just can't like arrest the guy unless he's still alive. But he'd be the oldest man ever. I didn't know that, but that makes a lot of sense. That the common bone structure would change every 100 years because of how the world is. Cavities, man. I've only had one as a kid. I mean, I believe her. She's obviously a bone expert, so. Yeah, they still need to take it in. I think of the descendants, you know? Maybe the descendants might care if you solve the murder. Hokkaido police. So they're in Hokkaido. Interesting. That's super up north, right? It's a hot spot there. Well, it could be a double murder with their hands tied together too. Wah. Damn, just barging in, huh? Let's see it. I thought she barged in because her boyfriend was gonna be there. Pink. What the heck is that? Bone vision? She's going to the bone zone? Actually? This is kind of trippy. I liked it though. I respect the artistic flair. And the music's going insane? Bro, that is not. How's that? I mean, that's sussy, no? Dehydrated lips? But the way it's tied, too. I don't know. Like, you shouldn't just rule a double suicide on scene, I think. Damn. Bone expert. I'm surprised she can realize it without actually seeing the bones, though. So she's just good at, like, corpse analyzing. Okay, dude. Ah, so her uncle was a forensic analysis. Interesting. I mean, that's where you get her expertise from. Dude, I love the soundtrack in this. So smooth. Smooth jazzy. What that? She's like a cat, man. Gotta spray her sometimes. What a weird relationship. He really is like the adult in this situation, which is funny. Can't take the stall. I want to learn too. She focused on the lips with the dehydrated and the knot. Yeah. It must be hard with like one hand. Because you can only do it with like two separate hands, right? Creepy piano. Fake Omega Speedmaster watch. Oh, the dot. Yeah, that's right. Right hand tied. I mean, that's a fair assumption, but it's just an assumption at this point. I don't know knots, man. Oh. Yeah, if you're tying it from like while you're lying down or like from this way, because it was tied this way, then it was tied by a third party. Yeah, like it's an automatic thing. It made sense. Is that just an automatic thing? I didn't think of it, but what you're saying made sense. Don't smile after saying such a morbid thing. Okay. Seed mucus. Right. And we didn't see any of that, which indicated they died before they were thrown in the water. Yep. Okay. Dude, I love it. Oh man. I mean, smart. He would have gotten away with it too. If a random wandering bone lady stumbled across. It's elementary, my dear policeman. What the? So she's actively looking for it? I mean, if you're actively looking for it, you like the gears will turn automatically, right? I mean, yeah, you won't just see a random human remains around. It's usually foul play. I get the synopsis now since it's gonna be around Hiroshima. There's gonna be like a mass serial killer killing a lot of people, which you'll find by the end of the series, maybe. Leave the stall. Come on. You didn't notice, man? I thought it was obvious. Can't just yoink a stall. Yeah, you found the stall. You promised. It's a bit find. Shotaro. He really hates the rock music, huh? Sensitive ears. Yo, look at that. Now that's a meal. Aw, she's thoughtful after all. Love to see it. Shoko. More names. Aunt. Okay, married to the forensic guy. Probably. Easy. Got the shrimp. Shrimp anyways. Wow, and that was the first episode. That actually flew by so fast. I was so into that, dude. Man, I'm glad I found this gem. I was just browsing and I saw it on Amazon Prime, and then I was like, I could watch it on Prime, but I did download the Neo HVC version. Just because when you record off Prime, they know they didn't ban me from using the website, but they restricted me for like a month or two, and I had to use the Prime application instead, which was pretty annoying. This was a good episode, Oh man. Apparently it's based off a light novel or a book. I assume it's a light novel because it said it had 17 volumes. Um, which I'm usually a little hesitant on light novel adaptions because they're usually kind of cringe, but when it hits, it hits. This is usually when it's not a battle light novel. Sorry for any light novel enjoyers. To be fair, I've never read one. Boogie Pop Phantom's been on my reading list forever, but I don't know. I'm due for picking up a book though. I've just been lazy. I try to read at least like 3 or 4 books a year, and I haven't read one yet this year. Just a bit of Mort de la Arthur, but I got a little post credit me. Hold on, hold the banter. No subs! My subs are cracks! They didn't sub the ending. What that? Talking about Shotura? Whoa, they knew each other when they were little? Or that's her daughter? Or her dead kid? It's one of the two. I think it's probably him in the picture. Apple pie me. It looks like it was just friendly banter. I don't think we missed too much. Man, just as I was praising Neo HVC, they do me dirty like this. Well, I'll probably check on the Prime version just to see if I can get if there's subs on the final part. I assume so, since it's on Prime. I don't think they would make such a blunder. Let me change to full cam. So after this, we go full cam to talk about post episode. Don't mind my eyes. My eyes are kind of fucked up. I have a cornea panis, which makes my eyes red. And during weekends, the right eye, this eye, is always like redder for some reason. Um, no, I've not smoked weed, but I do live in Canada, so I do partake in the leaf sometimes. Probably after this, but yeah. Ooh, ooh. But no, it's not. It doesn't affect my vision. It's just it just looks ugly. But again, the benefits of it is now I can smoke weed and now it'll look the same as normal. So it's like the ultimate camouflage. But yeah, let's go over Beautiful Bones. I loved it. I loved it. Then I already knew this was going to be my cup of tea, even though, I just did Shaman Teen, which and I did it, and it's nuked off the internet, but whatever. And I'm doing Shaman Teen Flowers. So I'm watching a lot of shonen. Shonen's not exactly like, or battle shonen, I should specify. It's not exactly like, I'm not gonna say it's not my cup of tea, but it's not something I actively like watched when I was in my big anime phase. I usually watched a lot more stuff like this, a bit more mature, more mystery. Especially now, I think I'm more like I'm very Law and Order pilled. I've been just binging Law and Order for the last like couple months, watching the original OG series. So my tastes have matured. That being said, I'm not just seeing Shonen Battle. I think Shaman King and Shaman King Flowers were really really fun watches. I mean, I'm still watching Shaman King Flowers, but yeah, it's great. But it's a nice change of pace, getting back into something more mature. And when they hit me with mysteries and something as interesting as having a main that's an expert in bones, kind of like the show Bones. I actually don't know if the is the show Bones about a fuck. I already forgot what her title is because I'm bad at names. Bones, Bones, America Tommy, forensic anthropologist. Yeah, she didn't call herself an anthropologist. I think anthropologists are just people who like study bones, like at least an anthropologist bone side, because then there's a language side and then there's a bone side. I think it's linguistic anthropologist, which is the language. But she was a. Oh, let me see what. She was like a reconstructor. That was her job. Kind of. I'm assuming it's comparable to What are the? Oh no, I can't even remember what they're called now. The normal one, taxidermist. It's probably like similar to that. So I feel like in a way, maybe a bone reconstructor is a bit harder. I don't know the science between for taxidermy. I don't know if they build the. I don't assume they build the whole skeleton. They probably put a lot of like filler parts and just use what they have. But yeah, I mean, let's go over this. We got introduced to our two main characters, who again names are not my forte. I've said this already. Shoko, which is the woman, and Sakuraku. Is Sakurako the guy or the? Is he the guy? No, Shotaro and Sakuraku. Okay. And they have quite an interesting relationship. They didn't explain it. I'm sure they will. Apparently, it might go deeper, but sadly, we didn't. There's no subs in the final scene. But there is a picture of like a. It looks like a young her and a young Shotaro, but um, can't fully confirm or deny it at this point. Um, and it's very interesting that he, as a high school student, and I don't know how old she is. I would say mid to late 20s, probably. How he's taking the mature role, like, hey, you can't take the skull home. It's a murder. It's part of a murder investigation. Um, some common sense stuff. Well, she's the eccentric, goofy, but in some ways brilliant person for her field. Um, and she's got that interesting background. Engaged to a police detective. Her uncle is apparently a really well-respected forensic investigator. And if you're like, what's a forensic investigator? They're basically the people who check the bodies of like so like if a police finds a death suspicious, they'll send it to the forensic investigator. We'll try to determine the cause of death and hints of the body and stuff like that. Maybe find some like skin samples under the nails or like basically find out what happened to the body just from looking at the final state of the body. So it's pretty dope. So it made sense why she's so skilled. Obviously, just being around people like that, but also probably the fact that she does she is around people like that probably also stems from her interest in the subject. Obviously, she seems borderline psychotic. So I mean, I'm sure we'll dive deeper into her and Shotaro's past, but it was a nice introduction. I liked how fast paced it felt and how they presented this mystery. And it's not like she solved it, right? It's not like, oh, because it wouldn't really made sense. It's not like she's a detective, so it's not her job to solve it. But she basically makes these inferences using her forensic knowledge. Because she did when she was examining the corpse, like she is a bone expert, but it's not like there's no bones shown there. So I'm assuming she did learn some forensic study at some point. Um, but I like how they saw the body, presented the evidence, and basically told the police officer, "Hey, solve it yourself. I gave you the keys to the castle. You gotta find the castle doors and unlock them." Which I think is cool, instead of going the almost not like like the TV show route where okay, we know how this is. We I've examined the corpse. I know how this is, and let's go help you solve the murder because it's not their jobs. At most, I thought she was gonna like call her detective fiance, but yeah. Crackpot bets. I love. Well, maybe you don't know, but I do love making bets at the start of the series, um, or like throughout the series, and see if I'm right. Life science teacher introduced like in the first 2 minutes. He's the main villain of the series. I don't know. I'm going fully off looks. He looked sussy to me. He looked sussy, and I think he's evil. Um, maybe put that in my bet marker, and we'll see by the end of the series if he is a mass murderer. If he's not, I wholeheartedly apologize to his character. It was literally just based off vibes, and the fact that he was fine letting the students bury the dead cat, even though he's not supposed to. Maybe that's an indicator that he also enjoys burying dead bodies. um. Also, we gotta talk about the style. There's a lot of pageantry in this. Hit me with the POV shots at the beginning. Second POV shot looked kind of ugly, not gonna lie. And they also hit you with like these really bright colors, which also look kind of ugly at the beginning. But even if I think it's a little ugly stylistically, I more so respect the fact of them trying to be visually different. I do. That's like one of the key things I like about anime that you don't find everywhere else. Because I'm mainly a movie watcher. Excuse me. Yeah, I watch a lot of movies, and then for TV shows, it's mainly just Law and Order, which is it's cable television. You're not gonna find any crazy filming techniques there. But like obviously you do see like some cool stylistic choices in films, but with animation, you can do like unique stuff through animations like with those colors. Obviously you can make colors look wild in movies, but it hits kind of differently. I liked it when directors try to be stylish. Even if it doesn't hit with me, I still respect the pageantry. And I do think the high colors worked a lot better when she went. I'm just trying to call it the bone zone because it was a really funny scene where she basically just got ready, gloves on, and it almost looked like a magical girl transformation where the colors got super bright and all the 3D CG skeletons. Oh man, that shit killed me. I love it though. I love it. Also, they definitely do utilize a lot of 3D CG in this in the animation. I'm someone who definitely does not hate 3D CG as much as people. Um, in fact, I've been known to enjoy stuff like the newer Netflix Ghost in the Shell, which was full 3D CG. I know people said it was hideous. I thought it looked kind of good at some parts, honestly, but whatever. Um, though I think they used it to the point where it was a little noticeable. I think if you want the perfect blend of, because if you are utilizing 3D CG, I think you want to blend it in pretty well, where people don't, well, where most people like wouldn't be able to like call it out or probably wouldn't care because it looked really good, aka like ufotable. Where this one, it wasn't the perfect blend in my opinion, but I think they did like a reasonable job at it. So aka looked pretty good. Probably the best scene though was, I mean, it was hands down when in the interrogation room where she was explaining all the discrepancies of the corpse on why she believed it was a murder. I liked how they did it. When she examined the corpse, they looked at specific parts of the body and they didn't say anything, and so it lets you think, okay, so she highlighted these points of the body. So it makes you like think a bit, like, okay, what was wrong with them? Why is this indication that it is a double murder and not a double suicide? And then they reveal it a couple of minutes later after you had time to think about it. And I thought that's a really cool way to do things. I wonder if they'll keep it like do a similar pattern for future episodes. Um, I mean, I did notice some things. Like I did notice the mouth. I said it was dry, but obviously I don't know the science, but I did think that maybe they were trying to indicate that they were murdered pre found in the ocean. That was my big thing, but obviously the knot thing makes a lot of sense, even though I didn't get it initially. They're saying like, oh, even if like someone tied the knot, if they tied it, if it was two people like sitting down and tying the knot or standing up and tying the knot would be tied this way. You can't really tie it this way because it's just really awkward, right? If you're using the other hand, you never pull away, you pull forward. And what was the last point? Oh yeah, it was like because when you're drowning, even if you are fully prepared to die, which obviously it's debatable. Like, is I'm not trying to debate about the ethics of uh suicide or whatever, but I mean she is right. Once you are drowning or you are on the verge of death, your body will struggle to not die. It's just a natural reaction, even if you are set on dying. So she was like, oh, basically, if they were really dying, there'd probably be like skin or hair tissue on their fingers, just as they're trying to get out of this drowning situation, whatever. And the closest solid object in this middle of the ocean are like, I don't. I assume. I mean, it's Japan. It's obviously the ocean. um, then they would see samples of that. Now, obviously, she didn't get a full look at it, not like a real forensic, which gets to look at all the nitty gritty through microscopes and stuff. But she made these basic. I mean, it's incredible. It just shows how much of a genius she is, right? Is she can make all these assumptions just by looking at the body for like 30 seconds to a minute. Like it's kind of insane. But yeah, that was the gist of the episode. I love the structure. I love the pageantry. I'm excited to see what the opening is. If they give you it, because it's a mature series, they might hit you with the we don't do openings around here, which is fine, but I am a big opening enjoyer, so I do hope they have an opening. Ending sound was nice though. Um yeah, and I'm excited to see what other mysteries these two get involved in. Especially especially Sakurako. She's a very she's goofy, almost like she's so enthusiastic about bones to the point where it's a little unrealistic, but it makes her pretty adorable. Uh, and of course you got our anchor Shotaro trying to keep her in check. When he when he hit her with the spray bottle, the spray water bottle that they use to discipline cats actually killed me. That shit was so funny. But anyways, I think that's it for this episode, this post-episode discussion. So this is basically what every episode will be, probably with the shorter introduction. So yeah, if you enjoyed the episode, consider subscribing for more. Again, my goal is to upload these on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon EST. Hopefully we'll be consistent with that. Um, if you're into shonen, check out my Shaman King Flowers reaction, though it is a sequel series, and you probably should watch. Maybe it's not fully required, but you probably should watch the original Shaman King, which I can't offer you a reaction, though there are plenty on YouTube, or just watch it yourself, because I think it was worth putting in time to watch. And I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Yeah, like, comment, whatever, and hopefully I see you again in the future with more beautiful bones, Sakuraku's investigation. But until then, have a great day, night. Bye!